Podcast from beyond the grave.
All right, everybody. What is up, everybody? Welcome into
Welcome in, dude. Room for one more.
We're still live. Presented
more.
by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app and use the code DNVR365 when you sign up. Choose your offer and find out why. Whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. We're here in the Toyota Losers Lounge, driven by your Fairfax Toyota store. Shout them out. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. No sugarcoating this one. Absolute butt whooping by a team that, unfortunately, we have to admit, absolutely owns the Denver Nuggets. They own them.
They own them.
That game, what was the final score? 115-95, 20 points. Way worse than that.
Yeah.
Way worse. You told me 20 points, I'd be like, oh, man, that sounds bad. Oh, it was way worse.
Way worse.
Way worse. Got bullied, got out-hustled, got intimidated, looked small, everything about it. We're going to break it all down. But there are some important takeaways from this game. I mean, we got to suffer together.
Yep.
And we got to analyze what's going on, so we got to get through all of it. I got Harrison Wind here.
Let it all out. Vent in the Toyota chat. Get your feelings out there. That's what we do here on the Losers Lounge.
Just let him out. Just let him out all those feelings,
let it all out,
man.
Let it all out.
D-Line Co. is going to let his emotions out. I'm certain
Yeah,
of
you
it.
just you got to let it out like a projectile vomit.
Yeah.
You know, just get it as far away from your body as possible, or sit in it for an hour like we're about to do, and then through to Friday. It's gonna be a sloppy tomorrow, guys.
Sit in it like Michael Malone made his starters.
Man, he definitely made him sit in it. We'll talk about that too. And rounding out the show, Superstar Dev.
I am straight up not having a good time.
This is a terrible night, man.
Cam, write the report.
I didn't say it.
We're going to do a fast breakdown because I want us to relive that one.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, God.
The
First note tells the story. Nuggets ice cold to start. 11-2 Wolves open the game.
So stupid.
It was just like
You
right
could
away.
just stop right there.
You could just stop. Anyway, the rest of the game was basically that, but extended. It really was. Jokic airballed a three. He was reluctant to shoot the three early for some reason. He had a pack, I don't know if it was ice or heat, could have been either one, on his shoulder today. We keep adding parts of the body that he is icing during games. A little concerning. Then he got 2 fouls, but he did have 15 points. It was 34-26 Wolves. You're like, all right, Nuggets played horrible. Guys, remember we were like, they're only down 8. They're only down 8. They're right in the game because they're only down 8. Second quarter, they did battle a little bit. They couldn't get a rhythm going. They cut it to 6. Wolves made an immediate run. Russell Westbrook. 2 guys showed up tonight, Jokic and Westbrook. Everybody else, I'm not so sure about it. But Westbrook, especially in that second quarter, was cooking, making some plays, trying to push. It was 57-48 Wolves at the half. Then the Nuggets had a great run to open the half. Remember, cut it to 5, I believe. But then the Wolves had an even bigger run, fueled primarily by second chance points. They bullied Denver in every way today, kept them away from the rim, got physical with them around screens. And then on every offensive rebound, they were like, get out of here, child. Grab the board, second chance points, just dominated the quarter. 89-75 Wolves, and you go to the fourth. Jokic starts the fourth again. Second time this week. Michael Malone has said, you know what, we're going to start you in the fourth quarter. Just go out there. It did not matter. 1, he looked exhausted. 2, it made no impact. The Wolves made an immediate run to start the fourth quarter, and the bloodbath was on. Pull the starters. Michael Malone, not so fast. He left them out there and just said, no, you guys sit out there. You're punished. You have to instead be out there and just get repeatedly humiliated by the Timberwolves. And the Timberwolves were like, we'll do that.
Yeah.
We will issue the spanking for you. It was embarrassing, man. It was an absolute bloodbath. Let's go to Red Hawk Roofing. Big takeaways. Superstar Dev, start us off.
My Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway in this one is it has to feel so good to be Chris Finch in these type of situations.
Yep.
Because most of the time when the Nuggets struggle, it is because a team has like X and O and had different schemes. And Chris Finch does not have to do that. All that the Minnesota Timberwolves have to do is be themselves. All they have to do is be very physical, be aggressive, be the bullies out there on the court. And we saw that time and time again in this game. This was embarrassing. And it wasn't because I thought that Denver could not respond. It was because of how easy it looked for Minnesota. They truly have the Nuggets numbers, but it's because they are the bullies. They don't think that the Nuggets can hang with them. So guess what? The Nuggets cannot hang with them. I do not want to see that team in the playoffs.
Yeah, that was.
I don't either.
What was this week called?
Embarrassment week.
No.
Statement week?
I think there was the loudest statement, perhaps, of the
Remind
entire
him.
week. The loudest reminder.
Remind him of last playoffs.
This reminded me of Game 7 and of really Game 1, 2. All the ones that Denver got destroyed in. This reminded me of that. What's your Red Hot Roofing big takeaway?
Guys, my Red Hot Roofing big takeaway is I don't know, man. It's over.
Dang
It was formerly back, but now it's over.
that's it.
Listen, like there were things that happened in that game early on that you're like, oh man, Nuggets are just they're playing a little off. They're just missing bunnies. Blah blah blah. You could be like, well, it's close, but they're battling. And then as it went on, you're like, what are they doing? What is this? Like, what is this disgusting, pathetic display? They can't rotate. They can't get rebounds. They can't dunk the ball. They can't pass the ball. They can't dribble the ball. Like, it was like, this is a blanketing of the Denver Nuggets by the Minnesota Timberwolves in such a unbelievably suffocating manner. They just beat the ever-loving hell out of the Denver Nuggets, and it was never in doubt. It's like, I cannot believe that the team played with that little heart.
Yeah.
You know, like, and even...
I don't even know if it was heart, man. It's
But I
almost
also-
something worse.
Yeah, and I also, like, I just think we said it from the beginning, like, I just think Malone made the absolute wrong decision starting Russell Westbrook. Would that have mattered? I don't know, but it certainly didn't help.
Russ played well tonight
played well
individually
too,
too, but yes, you're right. You know who also played well? Julius Randle.
Yes.
To your point. So
Yes.
certainly part of it. What about you, Wind?
My Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway, it's like you want to say, yes, this is just the worst matchup possible for the Nuggets. And they are coming off their best one of the season against the Thunder. But I just can't go with those two excuses and say, oh, it's fine.
Well, it's not fine to have a team that has your number to this degree, especially a
but
division
but
rival.
But I'm seeing a lot of that on the timeline, and I saw some in the chat during the watch along. It's like, they just beat the Thunder. This is a bad matchup. But they're okay. I don't know how you can say that, man, at this point in the season with as many games as we've watched. This isn't the first time we've seen this team look like this this season. It's not just against Minnesota that they look like this.
Yeah.
They've looked that pathetic before this year.
The Knicks.
Yeah, it's happened many times.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm probably at the point where it's going to be really tough for me to have high expectations entering the playoffs for this group.
Yeah.
Because just the peaks and valleys, one step forward, two steps back, that's what just happened these last two games.
Oh, that was 2 steps forward, 20 steps back.
Yeah, sure. But I don't know. We are where we are at this point in the season. What is it? 16 games left or so. This team is kind of who they are, and I know they're missing Aaron Gordon tonight. Yeah, he's a big part of this team. He would have helped maybe, but I think we know who they are. It's just going to be tough for me to get really excited about them heading into the playoffs after this performance and the fact that we've seen games like this where they just have no fight, no heart, no spirit, and they just roll over.
Yeah, Nuggets lack athleticism, and I do think they lack, they have some players who's tough. Like, when I say toughness, there are a lot of different types of toughness.
Yeah.
This team always knows that just physically, we're brawlers. We're going to get into every screen. We're not going to let you screen us because we're going to get physical. We're going to push you off the spots. Every rebound, we're going to get physical. The Nuggets have some guys that are just not good against that. That's what sucks because the team beats you with 3-point shooting or foul drawing. You're like, man, whatever. The team beats you because they just made you look weak.
And
this is
that's
the
Nuggets
worst.
who have the second seed in the West. They've been the second best team in the West to this point this season, and the Wolves just walked all over them.
Yeah.
And they knew they were going to do that the second the game started.
Yeah, I think that's what pisses me off is about how Minnesota feels. Like, and you can see it. Like,
Yeah.
it's on their face the entire time. There's like smirking going on, grins across the board. Multiple guys that feel comfortable in this matchup. That
I think
you just would
Anthony
not
Edwards
expect.
loves playing
Anthony
against
Edwards
the
loves
Nuggets.
it. He
Dude, he
goes out of
dressed
his,
up for it.
He goes
He
out of
did.
his way
He
to
did.
for this matchup. I feel like it's circled, but he's not alone. Like McDaniels loves this matchup.
Yeah.
Nas Reed like relishes for the moment
Nikhil, I think, likes this one too. He's got a pep in his step.
every single time, and you're supposed to respond back to it. You're supposed
Yeah.
to match energy. And they just don't do that. They don't keep the same energy. And I think that that's what's so frustrating is because of how they feel. So, yeah. Minnesota, like, they love this.
They love it,
this.
man. They got these games circled.
They got them circled, man, and they carry themselves. And like, if you think about the Jokic era, I think Harden's Rockets owned the Nuggets, but that was early days. You
Yeah.
know, that like the Nuggets weren't quite over a
The
hump
Nuggets
yet.
were for sale. Many people owned them then.
But well, I mean, I think the Rockets in particular, you always felt like,
Yeah.
damn, this team makes us look terrible. But I can't really think of other teams that have like owned the Nuggets. There's teams that have beaten them, you know, or done this, but there's nobody that I've been like, man, they're in town and they have a little pep in their step. The Timberwolves have pep in their step. They step into this matchup with an excitement. And conversely, and the thing that I think is so tough, we saw it early in this game. Denver looks a little shook when they play them. That's the part that's so sad is, you know, you talk to athletes and they're like, oh, it always feels worse to fail. Like for us or this, that. Denver was missing free throws. They were missing wide open shots. They were passing up shots. They were throwing the weirdest turnovers that were just like skittish. And I believe that this matchup is one that is a little bit in Denver's head. And that's a crazy obstacle. And by the way, I'm going to say this. I think the Timberwolves are good. I don't think this is a thing of like, oh, they have the Nuggets as number. I think the Timberwolves are a good team. I think they are one of 4 teams that can come out of the Western Conference. The Thunder, the Lakers, the Nuggets, and the Wolves, and not necessarily in that order. In fact, I might have the Wolves personally much, much higher on that list because they can defend. They have a guy in Anthony Edwards, and you know, they're figuring out with some new pieces. So to me, it sucks to watch Denver look shook. It sucks because great teams just don't look shook, and Denver looks shook by the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to add on to that.
Was that your Red Hawk roofing big time?
Yeah, that is. I had another stat ready to go, but that the truth is that's the real takeaway.
Yeah, it's bad, man. It really is bad. It hurts. It's really bad. The Denver Nuggets gave you nothing to feel good about tonight. They gave you everything to feel bad about tonight. It is unbelievable how quickly and fully the flame of that we got from last game has been extinguished. We are not back. It is over. But it can be back again after. I don't think, like, I kind of disagree with you, Harrison. I don't think we can just say this is who they are until we see this happen to them with a fully intact Aaron Gordon. With like,
Are we going to see a fully intact team?
I mean, I think so. Aaron Gordon he'll be back like shortly. He's
he is doubtful. So
he's doubtful,
but I'm saying that means he gets up to. He's not
yes,
out.
That's what I'm saying.
He's
like,
doubtful.
This is what I'm saying. But so he is going to return, presumably very soon, and then we see a performance like this again. You can be like, okay, we know who this team is, but this was as close to. Wow, they're not good enough as you've seen in a very long time.
I mean, you might be right. I might be just living in the moment.
We're in the moment. This is the moment.
I just say that because we've seen this exact scenario play out this year.
It got beat because of physicality.
Great win. Never mind.
Yeah. Here's the one thing I will say: they played the Thunder twice in a row, and I kind of like how it shook out because I felt like
they adjusted.
And this or that. I'm kind of glad Denver doesn't play them again. I'm glad they play them again. And I'm glad it's not until April 1st, meaning you have 2.5 weeks. Because I think Denver needs 2.5 weeks, to be honest with you, to get to what, if they're going to be able to rise to this occasion, I think they're going to have to get there. Nuggets got bodied, no way to sugarcoat it. But there are some things to talk about, including one Jamal Murray, who especially might be the key for all of this matchup. And I have a crazy stat for you on the other side.
Ooh, crazy stat.
Stay tuned.
Or don't. No one will blame you if you left.
Let's talk about the Colorado Lottery. And they have a great Denver Nuggets scratch game going on right now.
Get your
hands
out
on the limited edition $5 Denver Nuggets scratch game. Overall top prize, $50,000. There's also 25, 5,280 prizes. That's the elevation of Denver, if you didn't know, 5280. Mile High Basketball with Colorado Lottery. Perfect if you're a Denver Nuggets fan. If you're a fan of scratch-offs, available now wherever you get your scratchers, the $5 Denver Nuggets scratch game. Again, overall top prize, $50,000. We scratched him off on the show the other day.
This game felt like when I scratched
It was that loss.
Bro, I just decided on my way home, I'm going to go and buy 4 of these tickets.
Yeah.
And if I win on any one of them, we're back.
We're back, okay.
And if I lose all 4, it's over.
Oh, man.
Vogt won his. What was
Yeah.
it, $5?
Yeah, dude.
Got his
Lucky.
money back?
Yeah,
That
we were going to
lucky
split
little-
it. What happened to that, huh?
Yeah, what happened?
Check it out from the Colorado Lottery, Denver Nuggets Scratcher. $5. You can do it.
Yeah, you can.
You can do it.
You can.
Also, shout out to our friends over at Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for clean eating, delivering pre-portioned and prepared quality whole foods with limited processed ingredients. Green Chef sends organic, fresh produce responsibly, source proteins, and chef-designed recipes in every box for satisfying, nourishing, and convenient meals that make it easy to stick to a clean eating routine. Did you know that Green Chef is owned by HelloFresh? And with a wider array of meal plans to choose from, there's something for everyone. You can switch between HelloFresh and Green Chef. Now you can enjoy both brands at a discount. Pre-made sauces and pre-portioned ingredients. That means less prep time, less mess, more time to savor delicious restaurant quality meals. You can establish better eating habits. You can eat healthier, and you can set your health goals in motion with Green Chef's Reset Collection, available for a limited time. So thrive all year with clean, easy meals from Green Chef. Go to greenchef.com/nuggets free and use code nuggets free, all one word, NUGGETSFREE, to get started with free salads for 2 months plus 50% off your first box. greenchef.com/nuggets free. Use code nuggets free.
I feel like the Wolves look at the Nuggets as a meal plan, and they type in Nuggets free.
They're like, oh, that was a great pre-made meal.
Yeah, it's a free win.
That was tough. All right, back here, segment 2. Hit that like button. Remember, we're here to suffer together. We
dude.
got to go through all the ugliness. We
Just
got
to
to
be
look
clear,
at it.
it doesn't mean you like what you saw, or
Yeah.
even us. It just
Yeah,
means
we didn't like it.
We're just looking for some points, internet points here.
That's what that means?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Give us some internet
Well,
points.
this is going to lose me internet points because
Oh,
it's a
boy.
harsh truth people aren't going to like. This came courtesy of our guy, the Stat Squatch. Since the beginning of last season, including the playoffs, Jamal Murray has been held without a made field goal in 5 different halves.
Oh man.
4 of those have come against the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Whoa.
We're talking basically 2 full seasons
Wow.
and the playoffs. 4 of the 5 times he's been without a field goal and a half have come against Minnesota.
One
It's
of them
not a
was tonight, the first half, right?
This was not a coincidence, man. You watch how, like, this was a game Jamal Murray knew this, like Anthony Edwards shows up. He knows this is the matchup. Jamal shows up. He knows. So this is not like, oh man, they were a little bit more up for this game than we were. Jamal Murray knew this game was going to come down to, they're going to get physical. They're going to get into me. And the result was 0 field goals in the first half.
We're not crazy. Nobody's crazy.
I'm a little
because
crazy.
everyone has been talking about how Jamal gets like shut down and locked up in this matchup. And I mean the stats say it, but so does the eye test. Anthony Edwards goes out of his way to try to shut down Jamal Murray. And not try, it's happening.
Yeah.
And that's really been the difference of why the Nuggets were able to beat the Thunder and then they get blown out. We saw 2 different Jamals in that game. But it was Anthony Edwards that was like, nope, it won't be you. He'll stop his whole game to make sure it's about him. And it's really been domination. I know they don't completely guard each other the entire time, but like one guy is just dominating this. And then Jamal is in the Nuggets. So like Malone is also responsible. They're not trying to find ways to like free him up in these situations either.
can't.
There's just nothing that they can do because, I mean, Christian Brown didn't show up, Michael Porter Jr., none of the other starters, besides Russell Westbrook, who's wildly undersized, and Jokic showed up in this game, so there was not many things that you could do to be creative. But Jamal didn't show up. The Nuggets have no chance, and that's what it's going to be in the playoffs this year. That's what it was last year. It's the story of the Nuggets. So he really needs to take this matchup a lot more serious than he does, because if it sticks like this, season truly is over.
But Dev, I don't know that he didn't take.
That's the thing.
I think he did take it seriously.
That's the scary thing to hear.
But this is where your head coach has to step in. And if you're going to start Russell Westbrook, you say, Russell Westbrook, you're on ball because Jamal Murray cannot handle the physicality. We need to have run sets for Jamal Murray to do what Steph Curry does, run it back forth, like create closing door screens so that he can be open and take threes. Like, they just played him straight up. They didn't have any creativity in what they were doing. They didn't try to mix it up or confuse the Wolves in any way. They just went in as they always do. Yeah. And it just...
I mean, the Nuggets overall have very little creativity in their
For
offense.
sure. I mean, but they do when they need to. Like, I think if we played the Timberwolves tomorrow, just like what happened with the Thunder, we would see some... some adjustments. Would it matter? I don't know. Probably not. Maybe it would. It seemed pretty hopeless after the first Thunder game. But they just, they were set up for failure in a lot of ways. Like, I don't think that Malone put them in a good position at all. And it just bore out immediately. They just weren't, a lot of it is they were just missing shots, and that we were laughing about it. We're like, what are you doing? They're missing the easy ones. And then the Wolves really started to lock in once the Nuggets' confidence was shook, and it just was a snowball effect. But at the end of the day, like, they can't approach it the same way that they're approaching it. They just can't. Like, you got to try something radical. You need a Rui adjustment, goddammit.
Oh, God.
I wouldn't be as frustrated with the 3-guard lineup if Malone said, the reason I went for that was to get the ball out of Jamal's hand and to get it in Westbrook's hand the entire time.
That makes sense.
But he didn't do that.
No.
Like, Jamal was still the point guard and bringing it up, the court. Like, but it should have been Russell Westbrook the entire time if you're going to put that lineup out there. So, like, the fact that they did not go to that, does that surprise you, Harrison?
A little bit, yeah. But again, I just think, like, this is who the Nuggets are. Like, this is.
But it's like they did. Like, you make an adjustment like that, at least you can be like, okay. Then the result of every play is, okay, the paint collapses, so you kick it out to the wide open guy in the corner. Who is it? Oh, wow, it's Russell Westbrook. Like, what if that was Jamal Murray in the corner? Or Jamal Murray is in the corner, so they couldn't collapse all 4 of their guys so Jokic could operate a little bit. It was just like, there's some things you look at that you don't know if it would have helped, but at least it would have been like showing you that they are approaching this in a more mental way, like, which they didn't tonight.
Yeah. But Jamal, in particular, he did get 15 shots up tonight, which is quite a bit, and he made 4 of them. So, it's like the 4 of 15 is just rough. And I think you look at it, when you talk about, Denver looked off balance. By the way, one of the shots he made was that crazy,
I think that was the first one he made.
Twisting shot, or whatever.
Just jumping up in the air and not knowing what he's doing.
So, I'm calling it lucky, but it certainly wasn't like the way he wanted to score that one. So, yeah, when we talk about why is this matchup tough, this went to the exact script of the playoffs last year and the games they lost. Michael Porter completely eliminated from it. Jamal Murray completely eliminated from it. How do you win if you're Denver without those 2 guys playing well?
Impossible.
Because while I do think guys like Peyton Watson also got bullied in this game, Christian Brown ineffective in this game, there's other guys. To me, it's Jamal Murray and Michael Porter. That's where the bullying goes. And Denver, has a hard time with it.
And what's interesting, though, is Jamal goes for 34 points 2 nights ago against the best defense in the NBA. With a ton of good defenders. Lou Dort, SGA, Jalen Williams for a half, Case and Wallace. Caruso. And then just gets absolutely bottled up. Caruso for 12 points in this game. And you're like, how can that happen?
I think the best defender on Jamal is honestly Anthony Edwards. Because while Jaden McDaniels does a good job, Nickeil Alexander, all 3 of those guys do a great job. Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Jaden McDaniels do a great job on him. But Anthony Edwards just opened this game. And by the way, meaningful, you always look at the matchups. Anthony Edwards starts on him. Yeah. Like, hey, that's the first. I'm setting the tone right now.
In the locker room, he's probably like writing the matchups on the whiteboard. He's like, I'm on Jamal.
Yeah, he probably is. So it's a real thing here. Let's quickly just talk about Jokic. 34 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. He was 13 of 23 from the field. He did have 3 turnovers. He was not quite a game worse, but he was a minus 24. He's the one guy who can play through the physicality, but I will say, they're physical as hell with him, too. And he did have a hard time in this game on some of the coverages. Maybe he was just tired late, but he did have a hard time out on Naz Reid and on Julius Randle at times.
I think that everyone else surprises him with the physicality. I think that he goes into the Minnesota matchup knowing that they're going to be physical with him.
Yeah.
So he matches it with physicality as well. Like, I really do think that he's bigger, stronger than everyone else in the league. But this matchup for him, I know that this is one that he's prepared for. Like, they're going to be, hitting me the entire time. We're going to have to adjust. And he gets very aggressive offensively where he's like trying to score through double teams and things like that. This was a game that I felt that I could see Jokic's frustration
from the start.
From the start of the game. Like, it was kind of like you guys need to like also be a part of this. And nobody else does match that physicality. And maybe that like has him bummed, at times. He also had more injuries in this game than I've ever seen. Like, they're like on his shoulder, they're on his back. We already know that the elbows are there. Like, there was just a lot in this game. And then for Malone to keep him out there, I think that he should send a message to your team. I don't think that Jokic should have been in that message. Take him out of the game, keep everybody else out there. But I hated just watching him have to go through, like, sitting in the dirty diaper the entire time.
Dude, my diaper. I hope there's a Mando ad. My grundle.
That couch is disgusting.
It's bad, man. Hey, listen, everything sucks, but what we're doing is we're expelling the bad to allow for, more bad to come in, and then eventually we just all stop watching basketball.
Oh, man, I have a good for you.
Let's hear it.
There was one player in the
Yep, I
rotation
know who it is.
tonight. Oh, my God. I did not realize there's one player in the positive tonight. He played 17 minutes.
Was it Hunter? No.
Yes, Jalen Pickett is a +2 tonight.
It's because he was in the
Was
garbage
he in the
time.
garbage time?
Yeah.
He was in.
It
He
was-
was not in on the end of the game.
Yeah, he was.
think-
No, he was not. I promise you.
He was in for a little bit.
He was in for a little
Well,
bit.
first of all, the Nuggets played till 5 minutes.
And he was
I
in
think
for like the next
he was
2
in for
minutes.
I think he was in for like the
Tyson
next
three-
two.
three-
Either
three-
way, that's still
He was
crazy.
there, yeah,
Everybody
those-
else is a -20.
Those are the Hunter Tyson.
But I mean,
threes.
Michael Malone definitely trying to send a message.
Oh,
you
yeah.
were
Oh,
saying,
yeah, let's
Dev.
talk about that real quick.
I mean, this was a 20-point game for most of the fourth quarter, and Jokic started the quarter and then stayed in along with the rest of the starters.
Yeah, man.
I mean, the game was over, for the last 10 minutes of this.
A no-hoper, and Denver looked dispirited because
And the Nuggets just gave up, too.
they
they were done.
That's what I'm saying is the Nuggets, sometimes you leave them in, it's like you're down 17, 18, and it's like
And
they're
you're
not.
like, all right, maybe we can
but
get a
the guys
little
are
run.
like playing
Yeah.
hard, even though it's
if we hit a couple shots, it was just not happening
not even
tonight.
that. Sometimes it's like the guys are out there to just they're not going to win, but they're fighting to figure something out. The
Yeah.
Nuggets were not. They were like, dude, the clock is there's 9
They were
minutes
waiting
left.
to be subbed out. Like every dead ball.
That-
I'm looking
Is it
at
coming
Malone, he's
yet?
like, nope, you guys stay
I know,
out
that
there.
fourth quarter felt longer than this post-game show.
Yeah.
Which, oh boy.
Malone was, or by the way, Jokic was, even though there was physicality, Jokic was pretty frustrated with the officials tonight. So even though, to your point, that he was prepared for it, they just saw the clip here on the across the timeline, him doing the like, one time, call the
Right,
foul
give me
one
one
time,
foul.
like off the, and by the way, that was a play that was the Dante DiVincenzo shove in the back. Like you see it on, how do refs miss that?
Dude, I don't
How
know.
do refs miss when a guy extends his arm for a push? And you're like, it's because I can see how guys get away with a little like you're close in and you're grabbing the jersey or something like that. But when a guy extends the arm full extension push, you're like, did you didn't notice that
I
one?
don't know. I don't know what they're looking at.
This psychology of the NBA ref needs to be studied at some point. Like
I
it is-
study it part-time.
I do
Off
too,
to the side.
in piecemeal, in little pieces, parts. But it's strange. Like a crew takes on a philosophy where they're like they get together at the beginning. They're like, okay, 4 or like what a 6 is a 6 a foul? Like at what point of an actual foul are we going to call tonight? Like some nights you're just like, all right, what are we doing? Like okay,
Right.
and then other nights it's just you can't touch anybody.
Yeah.
It's insane.
All right, let's take our second break. More players to break down on the other side, especially the bench.
I can't wait to
boy.
break them down verbally.
Bet365 is an official partner of the Denver Nuggets and Colorado Avalanche, the presenting sponsor of this show. We use Bet365 to bet here at DNVR with our pregame bet segment. Did we hit 2 out of 3?
I don't think we hit any numbers. They had 95
Well, I mean,
points.
Yoke hit the 2 threes. That
I
was one
hit
of
2 out
them.
of
We
3
had
of my
one. We had
parlay.
one.
I got-
Did Yoke not hit the over in points plus assists?
He only had 4 assists.
Yeah, that wasn't on the 3.
Oh, that wasn't on
See,
the
the
three.
problem with assists is that other players have to make baskets.
Anyway, Bet365, It's what we used to bet. They have an early payout offer. If you are a winner, if your team goes up by 20 points, at Bet365, if you sign up with the code DNVR365, you can get $150 in bonus bets. When you bet $5, win or lose, use the code DNVR365, deposit $10, place a bet for $5. Get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. At Bet365, must be 21 plus, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or somebody knows a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Also, Toyota, we are live from the Toyota Lounge, of course.
Take me away.
And
Drive me
Toyota
out
is
of
the
here.
official vehicle of DNVR. They've got everything that you could want in a car. No matter what type of car you're in the market for. Maybe it's a Tacoma. Maybe it's the Land Cruiser. Maybe it's an all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive car like the 4Runner. They've got 17 models with that. They also offer more low and zero emission vehicles combined than any other automaker. 16 different hybrid vehicles to choose from. They got the RAV4, they got the Grand Highlander. Perfect type of car for any type of terrain you're tackling. Visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial. Corwin Toyota and Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mount States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson, Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson, Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of the Denver Nuggets and the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places.
All right, back here, segment 3. So Hunter and Tyson tonight had 8 points. PJ Hall had 2, and Trey Alexander had 1. Let's not count those because those were garbage.
Yeah,
time.
those do not count.
What? Those guys, yeah.
So
Hunter
outside of
Tyson
that,
did come out on fire.
of the 3 guys, Zeke Naji, Peyton Watson, and Jalen Pickett, how many points do you think the bench gave the Nuggets tonight? Total points.
Zeke Naji,
Zeke
Peyton
Naji,
Watson,
definitely
Peyton
zero.
Watson.
and Jalen Pickett.
Jalen Pickett gave them, I think, 5 points.
3.
Three.
It
And
was
the others
3.
had 0. That was a double 0 from P. Watt and from Zeke Naji. And man, for me, P. Watt, this was such a frustrating game. He did have one stint of like 2 minutes where he made a couple really good
blocks.
defensive plays.
Yeah.
But outside of that, man, I got to say, the finishing at the rim is officially like a red alert. He had a dunk tonight, blocked
Got
by
blocked by
DiVincenzo. And it's like,
DiVincenzo.
Peyton Watson catching the ball right now in the paint to me is frightening. It's like I hold my, every time you're like, oh, here he goes for a dunk. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
But he got blocked tonight.
Yeah.
To be fair to him, no Nugget could do anything when they got in the restricted area.
Yeah.
Christian Brown got blocked, like they got stripped. Jamal got stripped and blocked. But you're right, like it is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen with Peyton Watson. He's enormous. He can fly, and he cannot dunk.
Yeah.
Like the athleticism comes out on like in weird way, like just
On
certain
blocks.
plays, like blocks. He's the most athletic player.
Yeah, and he had one tonight.
And then there's the like finishing around the rim. It's like the confidence is just down when he's trying to make layups and things like that. But also he's settling for the threes, and when they fall, they continue to fall. But when he doesn't hit one, I think that every part of his game is like down.
Well, he took, I think it was his first one, or maybe it was his second one that he took falling to the side. Like he didn't get to the corner and balance, and so, but he still went up anyway. He didn't need to shoot it. So when he went up, he was falling to his left, and it was like, man, you're definitely not going to make that one. So yeah, he goes 0 for 2 tonight from 3, 0 for 4 overall.
I mean, these are just the types of games that Peyton Watson needs to play well in. It feels like for the
They
Nuggets
need
to
him
win.
for these games,
He
man.
played well last game.
and they won.
Yep, and
Yeah.
they needed him. Yeah, and he played just an atrocious game tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah, and of course he didn't play in that series last year, so you're kind of like, okay, man, here's a chance.
I know.
Right. Make a name for it. And then,
That's dude. Like that was a big. Everyone was like, "We got to give P-Watt a chance. We got to give P-Watt a chance."
the
on
Nuggets
Anthony
defense
Edwards.
overall today. I mean, I know the Wolves
He didn't guard him, I
only
don't think.
scored 115. They made 17 threes, shot 48%. Like the defense was atrocious today. The blow-bys, Timberwolves getting into the paint, lobs to their bigs, and then just like the lack of hustle, lack of fight for any 50-50 ball the whole game, man. I mean, Minnesota only had 12 offensive rebounds. It felt like 20
Yeah, it felt like
because
so
they
many more.
scored on all of those, I think.
yeah.
There was just no hustle, man. No fight, like from anybody.
I think
other than I'll say Jokic and Westbrook.
But I think tonight, I mean, Malone probably disagrees with this, but I think tonight was more about the offense. They had a 99 offensive rating in this game before garbage time.
Yeah.
Just
one
horrible.
last thing I'll say on Peyton Watson. Like you talk about how important he is in these type of games. Don't you want to see him against like Edwards in these games though? Like
You want to see the assignment, yeah.
I feel like there was not moments where he was matched up on him. Like I feel like if you're going to play him in these games against like those stars, you want to have him as the primary defender on those like star players. And I just can't think of one that stood out like as a moment. I do remember a block, but I just don't remember him sticking with him. So like, how important is he going to be if you're not going to use him for those matchups?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. For sure, you want to see him take on an assignment that is meaningful. Although I will say with how Minnesota plays, they just kind of get the guy screened off anyway. I mean, they are good at running their little rub actions to get their defender of their choice and going at him. We mentioned Russell Westbrook briefly, but I do think we should give him this to me, athleticism and toughness and just like physicality. Who has it, who doesn't? Tonight, Russell Westbrook had it. 19 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 steals. He did have 4 turnovers, but he was 8 of 12. Westbrook was... It's funny, Westbrook doesn't always stand out from the crowd, meaning the rest of the team in these types of ways. This was one where you're like, oh, the Nuggets are getting bullied, but not Russ. Russ is like delivering pain. He had one on Julius Randle where he like ran into him, like right into his chest.
Yeah.
Gave him a little blow.
Yeah, I mean, Westbrook, he got to the rim a bunch today. Like, he was able to get to the rim, put pressure on the defense. He had a couple nice drives when, like, nobody else on the Nuggets did. And, I mean, he played hard. He did have some absolutely brutal turnovers. But Westbrook was one of the, you can call it bright spots today, absolutely.
All right, we have Brendan Vogt live from the arena.
Champing at the bit. To talk
Oh,
about
man,
this.
he is so excited to talk about this game, man. Let's go to him live from Ball Arena. Vote.
Fellas, how's it going?
Oh, that
So
one
good,
sucked
dude.
from here. How did it look from there?
Man, I'm so glad you asked. It was terrible. I absolutely hated it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for asking. Yeah, we spoke to Michael Malone after a brutal loss, a 5th straight loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves. And Malone took a very defensive tone tonight. Malone protected his guys, had his guys back. I was wondering what direction he'd take it in. You know, sometimes they win a game and Malone comes out breathing fire. Tonight, he really had their back, and I'll give you the details. Right off the bat, he said, I know the last 2 games against this team, we did not have Aaron Gordon. And I think against a team like that, with their size and physicality, Aaron Gordon would help. Now, that's no excuse. He said, that's not D-line. But I digress. 29 second chance points off of 12 offensive rebounds. That was the key stat for Michael Malone. And as he elaborated later, 12 offensive rebounds isn't that bad. It was the second chance points. It's how many of them they converted on that really killed them. He said they did just a poor job of being ready for that. Again, though, defending his team, asked if this is maybe an easier loss to stomach given some of the bright spots of late, which I thought Malone might shut down. He took it, and he said, yeah, I mean, since December 8th, we've had the 3rd best record in the league. I felt that we were really tired tonight. I don't know if the back-to-back that we played in OKC and all the emotions that went into that, I don't know if that had an effect on us.
That's so
we were
weak.
slow. We were slow. Well,
That long
there's more.
flight.
There's more, man. He said we were slow, and that's understandable. I've asked a lot of these guys, especially our core players. On the rebounds, he said we've had a bit of an issue this year when we're playing teams that shoot 43s, long shots, long rebounds. It's just not getting through to the fellas. In the third, he thought they played good defense, but that was it. And you just can't play good defense for that short of a stretch and beat a good team. I asked Malone if there is a pride discrepancy in this matchup. The way Game 7 went, the way the last 5 games have gone, and then just coming into this building and taking it from the Nuggets. And Malone again said, I will never question our pride. Been with these guys for years. I've seen, they've accomplished a lot together. He did not take, obviously, I didn't expect him to just sort of go, yeah, they have no pride. but I was curious what direction he'd take it in. And again, he was very defensive of his guys. He had their back tonight. So interesting tone from Malone, kind of different than I expected. If you guys have any reactions, I'm all ears.
No.
All right,
the reaction.
good stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I know how you guys feel about it.
Yeah.
Jokic on the Wolves, they're into the ball. They know what they're trying to do in all their different schemes. They're really aggressive. They have the personnel for that. They are a good team. Asked about the 5 losses in a row to the Wolves, which, look, Denver doesn't usually have a long losing streak to the same team like that. Asked if there's like a common thread that he could see, and he said, yeah, in all 5, they beat us really easy.
Yeah,
So
man, it's
he
true.
was not mincing his words. Certainly to my eyes, guys, looks like a bad matchup. And, Jokic didn't say those words, but he described how easily it's come for Minnesota. And I think we can all agree. We all see that. When asked about the rest and the Oklahoma stuff that Malone brought up, Jokic did not take that, went hard in the other direction. He said, I don't know. I don't think so. We've had a day off. That shouldn't be the case. And when asked if there is any one thing that the Nuggets can do in this matchup, if he could pick one thing to improve their chances, he stopped and he said, probably limit them to one shot. We just can't let a team like that get so many opportunities. So Malone and Jokic did ultimately agree on the second chance points.
Yeah, it was a
Two
big deal.
completely different tones in terms of what went into this loss. And it was just a one-player podium tonight, guys. We heard from just Jokic. Briefly, Jamal Murray spoke in the locker room, where essentially the gist of what he said was, we just have to play better. This is Jamal's line this year, guys. He's in losses, he doesn't get into the details. He just says, we missed our shots, we have to make them. We didn't do this well, we have to do it better. And on my way out here, I saw him in the hallway. Ice wrapped up, breaking the game down with his dad. I didn't hear anything, that conversation's between them, but just, Jamal and his dad kind of in the hallway breaking it down after a tough loss. So yeah, it was an interesting night in the arena, guys, for sure.
Probably not that interesting. I mean, interesting in the worst way, but probably not that interesting as in we should all rewatch this one because there's some Easter eggs we missed left and right. Vote, get home safe from the arena. Look forward to whatever you write about this one.
See you guys.
Speaking of writing.
Yeah. If you guys want to support us here at DNVR, if you want to support the show, the best way to do that is to become a diehard. We got like 1,000 people watching right now. If you can go to thednvr.com, we have a link in the show notes to become a diehard, just $36. You get access to all the writing. You get a free shirt.
It's cheaper than buying a shirt.
It's cheaper than buying a normal shirt. It pays for itself right there. So many perks. You get access to the DNVR Discord for every sport. Nuggets, great talk in there. But if you're looking to support the show, this is the best thing you can do. Become a diehard, just $36. It's a huge sale, only lasting for a couple days. So that would be something we'd all appreciate.
There you
guys
go.
can do that.
We just made an upgrade. I always love when we bring in, or when somebody flies across the pond, as they say, to catch the Denver Nuggets. They get so excited, and then they arrive and they catch the worst game they could possibly catch. That happened to our homie, an OG, Lucas. Lucas,
up,
thanks for
man?
joining the show.
Thank you for having me, guys.
So you come to us from Spain,
Yes.
and you're a diehard Denver Nuggets fan,
Yes.
and you've always dreamed, since you were a little boy, of coming to Ball Arena and watching the Nuggets play.
That's what happened, yes.
Did it live up to expectation?
No.
What a bummer. What a bummer of a game for you to
Yes.
catch, man. So
Yes,
walk us
yes.
through your night.
Well, first of all, I thought that it was good that, even though the team obviously played really poorly during the first half, at least they were still in the game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We kept talking ourselves into it too.
Yes. I at least I did. So, but yes, they ran away with it later in that third quarter, and definitely by the start of the fourth, it got away from us. So yeah, I felt the effort was there. I don't know if you guys commented on this. The effort, I feel it was there, but this matchup is probably the worst matchup for the Nuggets without AG.
I don't
in my
know.
opinion.
I don't know that I would criticize the effort. I would criticize almost the toughness, though, because I do
Right.
think it was a lot of just being bullied. And while they tried, they just look so small so often, and they look so just they're both running at each other. One's going back, and it was the Nuggets that were going backwards.
But do you have like a potential solution to that without AG? I think
Without AG, no.
No.
But I mean, this is when you absolutely need AG, and when
Yes.
he's at his best, he does bring a level of physicality that the Nuggets need in this matchup.
Yes.
And then but I really do, for me personally, I just think it's going to be Jamal. Like, you can't win a series if Jamal's canceled out, and he was in that first half marked 0.
Yes.
He did have a run in the third quarter, but he was by no means like something to write home about. So to me, that's really where it's at.
Yeah, and he was targeted all the time also on defense. They were trying to find Randall on him.
Yeah.
Either on him or on Westbrook or on CB. They were trying to find that switch all the time. And they also found like many open corners. The threes on the corner.
There were
right?
A lot of help, a lot of
Before garbage time, before Hunter came in and hit those shots, I thought I saw in the arena that they were like 45 to 15 points
Yeah.
from the 3-point line. That's crazy disadvantage, yes.
Yeah.
So are you discouraged by this one?
Not really, because on one hand, I'm happy that AG was upgraded to doubtful.
Yeah.
So
He's, on the
and I
cusp
think
of a return.
again, I think this is the worst matchup for the Nuggets to face without AG.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
probably.
true. Without AG, he's especially important in a series like this. It is. I mean, it just almost feels weird like using it because it feels like an excuse in a game where you just get absolutely manhandled. But to your point, he is the most physical non-Jokic player on the roster, and he was absent tonight.
Yes.
All right. Well, you're pretty positive. I got to ask you. You got this jersey on. I mean, we have some
That's an
great
awesome
jerseys.
jersey.
This one definitely goes in the Hall of Fame. The Mega Lex jersey. Tell us about this one.
Well, I bought it from eBay, really.
Really?
Yes.
They have it on eBay.
You can find
Got it on the internet.
I feel like they don't make them anymore, I guess.
Probably not.
I don't even know if they ever actually made them for sale.
They're right. This is some like knockoff company that was just like, all right, it's incredible. Yeah, it is incredible.
It's pretty ugly. We were commenting on
It's
this.
so ugly.
Yes. And, everybody was paying attention to it in the arena.
Yeah.
Yes.
Were you getting a lot of compliments? Did people recognize what it was?
Yes. They kept saying, "Oh, that's a cool shirt. That's a cool shirt. What's that for? Where's that from?" And I say, "Oh, that's Jokic's first basketball team in Serbia." Oh, nice. Yes.
So how'd you become a Jokic fan in Spain?
I became a Nuggets fan first
Okay.
of all. Yes, back in 2007, something like that. I started playing basketball in high school and honestly fell in love with Carmelo Anthony. And stayed as a Nuggets fan after he left. So yeah, and obviously then
There were some years between you arriving and the 2013
somehow
season.
you stayed a fan.
The
Yeah,
fact
that's
that you
impressive.
stayed around for that is like that was Nate Robinson for
Yeah.
a moment there.
Moutier.
Moutier, yeah.
JJ
This is how they were paying him, yeah.
I told you guys before that I bought a Moutier shirt. I was excited about drafting Moutier.
Yeah,
so
well,
yeah.
We
Well,
all
yeah, you
were.
have to get excited for your guys. Walk me through the championship then. Where were you at when it happened? How were you watching?
I was waking up every single night to watch all the playoff series, and obviously became very excited. I was this close to buy tickets, plane tickets to come to the finals, but ultimately got scared of losing the games and losing the finals and spending all that money and all that effort. So still obviously very happy, but on the other hand, I kind of regret not doing it. But yeah, I was this close to saying, "Oh, come on, let's."
So
do
were you
it."
watching it alone just at home?
Yes, all by myself, 4 a.m. in the morning.
What do you do? Do you have friends that like the Nuggets?
My cousin mostly. Yes, my
So-
cousin is 8 years younger than me, and
Okay.
we kind of like the same sports, the same teams. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
yes,
nice.
yes.
So at least you had somebody to reach
Yes,
out and be
yes,
like, "Heck
yes.
yeah, man!"
Yes.
What are your true feelings of this Nuggets team right now?
Like the state of the Nuggets now.
Or like the upside even.
Can they win a championship?
This year, I think it's possible if everything breaks their way.
Yeah.
Odds are not very high, I don't think. But they can catch some breaks here and there. Maybe one lucky injury in a certain playoff matchup goes their way. And, they find favorable matchups here and there. But I feel odds are not very high, really, to be honest.
Your
I think
hopes are kinda low.
Depth is really an issue, I believe.
That's kind of how I feel. Like, can they still make a run? Absolutely.
Yes.
They have Jokic. They have the championship pedigree still there. Like, they can absolutely make a run. But a lot of things have to go right for that to happen.
Yes.
A lot of things that we haven't seen consistently go right in the regular season.
They haven't really given us the stuff that feel like prerequisites to buying into a team. I mean,
Yeah.
you're almost buying it on faith, which again,
Exactly.
you have Jokic, and the team's upside. But there are these little boxes you just check, and Denver's unfortunately not checking a lot of them. And we got 16 games to go now. Oh, this countdown.
It's not that many.
Brutal, man. It's a
Before
lot
we
of
know it,
games.
the playoffs are going to be here.
Yeah, they will be here.
Are you here for another game?
Yes, Lakers on Friday.
Okay.
If we lose that one, we're shipping you right back.
Luckily enough,
we're shipping you straight back. I'll drive you to the airport.
I'm also going to Nuggets at Portland.
Okay.
Next week.
Okay.
All right.
Hopefully,
Well,
even if we
hopefully.
lose against the Lakers, we should, I guess, take
Yeah.
that
I'll
one.
tell you right
I
now,
don't
if they
know.
lose
All three, yes,
Yeah.
devastating.
can never come back.
You can never come
Ever.
back.
You might
Yes,
have to
yes,
burn
yes.
that Moody
What
jersey.
did you think? Because we were talking about this before. What did you think of the arena? And I know this wasn't the best game because it was 11-2 to start. The crowd was probably never into it.
Oh my God,
But just what
yeah.
did you think of the experience?
I expected worse, really.
Really?
Yes, I've been to other arenas in the U.S. I've been to Madison Square Garden when the Knicks were terrible, and also to Memphis to the FedEx Forum, and
So random.
And now I was expecting worse. I think maybe I was sitting beside some fans who were engaging and we're having fun and we're rooting for the Nuggets when Jokic was making all those dunks and all that. I had fun. I thought it was better than I expected. Yes.
Okay, well that's pretty nice. I guess we can't complain too much about that. Oh yeah, do you want to share what you do? Because you are in sports as well.
Yes, I was telling Adam and D-Line before that I actually owe my professional career to the Nuggets, really, because
So do we. Actually,
Yeah, sure.
we share that
We also
commonality.
do.
I covered Real Madrid for SB Nation's Real Madrid side, and I became familiar with SB Nation thanks to the Nuggets. So I knew about an opening for a Real Madrid blog thanks after reading Denver Steves back in the day, and Nate Timmons, obviously Adam, Brendan, and all those guys. So I'm very happy about covering Real Madrid for a living, and definitely owe the Nuggets and you guys that opportunity, because if it weren't for the Nuggets, I would have never known of that opening. So yeah,
That's cool, man. These little connections around. How many sickos are there in the chat with super chats tonight? Let's start mowing through these. You can mow through. Actually, do you have a hot take you want to share or anything? You can think of it while we start going through these.
All right, let's do it. Smuggets Gold. Denver didn't care tonight. Not worried. Denver in 6.
Yeah, that's the energy we needed, baby. That's what we needed.
Josh Burnett from Down Under. Kale, take the night off, mate. The year of Jamal Murray.
Murray.
Huh?
Well.
All right. Okay. Smuggets Gold again. I remember some of the L's in 23. We will be fine.
All right, there you go.
History Channel 5280. Lineup wasn't the problem. Russ had an amazing first half while Zeke did not. Blame should not go to Malone for this one.
All right, take that, D-Line.
Mr. Exquisite Nugget. They may be our kryptonite, but we got the chip.
All right,
That's
there you
an
go.
optimistic view.
Oh.
History Channel 5280. Mega bummer, but I'll be okay if this ends up being a sour pickle and a sweet Thunder Laker sandwich.
There you go. That's all it's going to be.
Nice. I mean, knew this would be a long night after the game started with Jokic missed free throws. McDaniels not only plays D, but also makes more threes than our two max players.
Man, it wasn't a
God.
great night for
hard.
threes are tough.
You know,
They're so far away.
I'm going to be positive tonight.
we
Nuggets
go.
showed Monday what they can do with playoff focus. Tonight, they looked dead, tired, and not into it. We good.
There you go. Michael Malone said the same thing. My guys were tired. Why do you leave him out there? So weird.
We were dead tired from that road trip. Let's just play the whole fourth quarter and blow up. Big Honey, this loss wipes all of the vibes from the OKC.
I'll be honest. For me personally, it doesn't wipe all of them, but it does wipe
75% of them.
Yeah, it does. I was going to go like 80, 85% of them, but not all.
Not all.
That win
Not
still
all.
means something.
Brian Solo, at least Jamal didn't throw a heat pack on the
Oh
court.
man, let's not get negative, guys. Come on, that was a low blow.
Nuggets should game the 2-3 to avoid Minnesota. I love to hate the Nugget. What?
I love to hate the Nuggets.
Oh, he's a Wolves fan.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for the $5.
yeah, there you go.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, paid us.
Maximo, my favorite. Oh, this is the honorable Wolves fan. My favorite player versus my favorite team. Not the game I was expecting. Even with Gordon healthy, I just think my Wolves are a bad matchup for the Nuggets.
I think so too, man.
Smug gets gold
Unfortunately,
again. No, Dev, we do want the smoke. Remember Phoenix versus Minnesota last year when Phoenix beat them every time in the regular season?
Is that what happened?
And then got smoked in the playoffs.
I will say this. I actually want Minnesota in the playoffs. I want them in the conference finals, and I think they have a chance to make it. Like, I don't like the idea of trying to fully avoid a team, and I hate the idea that they smacked the hell out of Denver. Like, I will say I don't want it to be in the first round, but Denver, if they make the conference finals, I do want it to be like, you know what, we kind of hate OKC, but we kind of hate Minnesota too. That's like, hey, make that work, make it work, and then beat them, shut them up.
Jay, if Gobert has 100 haters, I am one of them. If he has 5, I am one of them. If there is only one Gobert hater, it is me. And if there are none, it's because I walked into traffic after this. That's actually where D-Line went. He's out there.
You know what's funny, man? I have a confession. I kind of liked it. Like, Road to Gold, I kind of liked him a little. He's kind of a likable guy.
Oh, Gobert.
Yeah.
You've always liked him.
No. I hated him before everyone hated him. Then everyone hated him, and I felt bad. I was like, guys, you're swinging too hard. But he is hateable. He's a very hateable player. His missed layup tonight.
Zoo,
oh my God.
From Zoo. Thanks for the super chat.
Thanks, Zoo.
Nicholas Baum, it was a horrible effort on all parts. And PJ, though.
Yikes. Hiding behind the hands.
No, it shut up.
Doesn't even make sense.
No, Cal. GS vote.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know.
It's
Pragmatic
almost tomorrow.
Rose. You can't start 3 guards against a huge, long-ass Wolves team. Zeke needs to start in AG's spot so Westbrook can develop chemistry with the bench.
Okay.
Celestos, I legit think we beat this team in the playoffs, a la Wolves sweeping
Oh,
Suns.
let's go. We got a
Everybody's
bunch
on
of
this
people
point
on this. Let's go.
after being swept in the regular season.
Nuggets are down 30 points in the fourth. We're like, I think we can beat them.
Maximo again. The crazy thing is, and call me crazy, I think the only 2 teams that can take out OKC in the playoffs are my Wolves and your Nuggets.
I think the Lakers can too, to be honest with you. I know people are going to think I'm an OKC hater, but I think they can.
a healthy Nuggets team is very capable. Just depends if Jamal shows up. That is what depends
And AG's
on.
health.
Peter Duck, I hate when fans say, I don't want to see blank in the playoffs, but Minnie really makes me want to say that. I don't want to see them in April. Still Nuggets in 6.
There you go. I don't want to see him in April either. I want to see him in May or early June.
Celestos, AG super important in this matchup, and 3rd game in 4 nights for the 2nd time in 3 days. Bad nights happen.
I do think there's something about little schedule fatigue, but whatever. No excuses. Play like a
just
champ.
play the whole 4th. Matthew Bryan, am I overreacting, or is playing Jokic 19 straight minutes in the second half when we're down 25 when he finally exits unacceptable? He was a game time decision.
Dude, it is true, man.
He's
Like, he was
banged
also a
up
game
right
time-
now.
Malone
Well, he
playing him
wasn't
that
a game
long
time
was
decision.
weird.
He was always going to play. Like,
Yeah.
but he is. Like,
I don't love Malone playing him that much.
He went to the locker room.
Yeah.
That's what everybody was saying. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
I don't
it's
love
the
it.
elbows and now the shoulder. It looks like Flacco Watts never had a chance wearing the white jersey. White jerseys rate nearly 30% lower now than the 5280.
I love this
and
stat.
10% lower than the blue. They never bring the energy or aggression wearing white. IMO bet on it. Okay. Good stats. Thank you. You know, do you think this team has an ego problem?
And then parentheses Murray. No.
No.
I mean,
I don't know. Maximo again. Also, nothing against SGA. Dude is the real deal, but the Joker, in my opinion, should still be MVP this year. Media narratives suck.
All right, we appreciate the support. That was like a nice one. He came in to hug us. I appreciate it, man.
Maximo's like
yeah, he's
the
the
nicest
homie.
guy.
He's the homie, man.
Big Honey, fire up back a meter for Nug Life. Darkness, my old friend.
I love it. We are going back and forth between like it's okay and everything's terrible. I like it.
I mean, Jamal was mic'd up in game 1 versus Wolves. He sees Ant and says, "You're guarding me. This is gonna be fun." It has not been fun. Mike and Jamal have to make threes. Jeez, man.
It's so true.
Yvonne, this is why I'm not an optimist. We simply must avoid Minnesota in the playoffs. Murray and Porter especially disappear versus them. We play soft versus
We
them.
did play soft versus them. That is fact. Check true.
Donald, I started watching y'all last playoffs, and I've stayed around because y'all are so good. I mean, I only watch when the Nuggets lose. LOL. Go Wolves.
And then he could have parentheses positive chat.
Positive.
You know what?
Hey, that was positive.
Thank you,
That
Donald.
was positive.
But
You know
F
what?
you, Donald.
That's hilarious.
Flacco again. Really sick of not seeing any fight or dog in anyone other than Russ. Denver wants to keep it clean, but Minnesota always down to play dirty and aggro.
I think Yoke's up for the physicality too. I mean, the man
Yeah,
just
I think
goes
Ru-
into the
I think
paint.
Russ
He does
is
not
too.
run from it. But Russ for sure is.
Yeah. Maximo again. Oh, and one more thing. Stephen A. Smith is a clown. Dude is one of the most overrated, overpaid sports journalists ever. He and his buddy Skip can kick rocks. Thanks again, gentlemen. Until next time. See ya. Flacco again. I'm going broke tonight. Rage buying super chats.
Did you get it out, man? That's everybody deals with grief differently.
Yvonne, I'm worried how we are going to play versus Lakers even without LeBron.
I know.
We play soft versus teams that we used to beat. Randall looks like Cat versus us, even better.
I bet you they bounce back.
Clarence defense.
Everybody go to overtime. On the internet, go to overtime. If you're watching on our Fast channel, go watch us on overtime.
Defense non-existent. Aggressiveness, nope. Wolves have the Nuggets number right now. Lost last 5 games. Minus 115 point. Is that really a stat? Minus 115 point differential?
Does feel correct.
Need to trade Maul and MPJ at the end of the season.
There was that one game that they lost by like 40 or something.
Yeah.
Game 6.
6.
Yes. That was like 50
Yeah.
even, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
so bad.
Game 6. 5-5-5-5-ish. I don't know how, but Zeke ended up being a net 0 in a game we lost by 20.
Yeah.
448, 57 down, only 106.03 to 555. This is a game where Julian's offense would have been useful.
I mean, maybe.
Flacco. Don't forget the mini Wolves on April Fools at home again wearing, wait for it, white.
Oh, Flacco's all over this.
At least they're wearing blue against the Lakers. Next 3 games after that are in white.
Oh, no. What are we doing?
Washington, Golden State
What are we
Lakers.
doing? Hehe's got me convinced now. Now I'm convinced
CeeLo.
we're screwed.
Uncertain about this team, yet feels like they can beat anyone. Okay. 10-game win streak begins Friday.
I love
They
this.
are
Let's
not going
go.
on a 10-game win streak.
Don't say it.
Culminating in an April Fool's dub versus Minnesota.
Remind them. Please remind us. Remind us, Nuggets, please.
Yvonne again. I'm trading Porter and Murray for some dogs just because of this matchup, and we don't have anyone that can guard Edwards. If we don't win convincingly versus Lakers without LeBron, we are officially screwed.
I like it. We can't just win. We got to win convincingly.
Flacco again. Oh, man. Minnesota plays. Okay. Michael Porter Truther, 3 guards versus 2 bigs, only works against 170-pound Chet. The boy's dad chiming in. Infuriating, particularly tiresome, is the PTJ show.
Part-time
Jamal.
Yeah, he's kind of a part-time guy.
Yvonne, shout out to Lucas. Spain is great, but Serbia will always be the best European basketball team. This is so classic. I love it. Although I love our rivalry versus them.
They're better now. They're better
by
now.
now.
Now. Not over the last 2 decades, I don't think.
Okay.
Christoph, well, that sucked. Pickett for sure ain't German. What?
For sure ain't German.
Maybe that was like a joke we made at one point. I don't know.
Man, Pickett for sure ain't German.
Let's just keep going.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Flacco again. I read this one first. I guess it's a make or miss league. However, a little throat punching, leg fucking
Effing.
defense. We're in overtime.
Yeah.
Wouldn't hurt. You have 6 fouls each to use them to fight back.
Yeah.
And Drew Abreu,
I love this.
better now than in the playoffs.
All the Nuggets good. Lucas, thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you guys for having
Hope
me, guys.
you enjoyed your first
Yes.
Losers Lounge. Hopefully it's your only ever Losers Lounge. Everybody,
Yes.
thanks so much. Sickos only. Pat yourself on the back. You're a true sicko. We always appreciate you hanging out with us. We'll see you next time.
We all silly like the mayor.